brother! Cracking shot!
All good things eventually wrap up, and it looks like that time is fast approaching for the filming of Bridgerton Season 4. While attending Paris Fashion Week, Yerin, who's set to lead this upcoming season, caught up with Women's Wear Daily and gave everyone a little behind-the-scenes scoop. She shared, "We just finished Block 3 and we're heading into Block 4 now. That means filming is heading into the home stretch. Is starring opposite Luke Thompson this time around, and their season is inspired by the third book in Julia Quinn's Bridgerton series, An Offer from a Gentleman. It's got that classic Cinderella vibe because of course it does, and centers on Benedict Bridgerton falling in love with Sophie Bake, played by Even though they've been filming for a while, made it clear it hasn't felt like a grind. She described the whole experience as being more like playtime than actual work. "It's just been so wonderful, and work has never felt like work," she said. "It's just felt like playtime, it's been so nice." And while playing Sophie, she's also picked up a few personal lessons along the way. According to Sophie reminded her that when it comes to love, it's easy to lose a bit of yourself, but that's not how it should be. Sophie's story really drove home the importance of staying true to who you are and surrounding yourself with people who respect you for it. Now, Bridgerton won't be Bridgerton without the jaw-dropping costumes, and Season 4 is definitely keeping that tradition alive. Fans can expect another round of elegant, over-the-top fashion moments, especially because the season starts off with a grand masquerade ball, the first time Sophie and Benedict meet. That event also happens to include Ha's favorite costume so far. "The silver masquerade costume is probably the most extravagant," she said. "Otherwise, I'm in maid costumes most of the time, scrubbing floors, ironing socks, napkins, all that kind of stuff. So naturally, the ball is a bit of a glam escape for her character, even if it doesn't last long." After the masquerade, Sophie's life takes a different turn. Without giving away too much, she ends up living as a maid. Her path eventually crosses with Benedict again, and that's where things start to shift. But for now, most of Sophie's wardrobe is far more practical than glitzy. Still, it's that contrast that really makes the masquerade gown stand out. Speaking of favorite parts of filming, both and Thompson agreed on one location they loved working at, My Cottage. And yes, that's actually what it's called. My Cottage is Benedict's estate, and it plays a big role in Season 4. Most of Sophie and Benedict's relationship will develop there before the story moves back to the familiar high society world of the Tun and the Bridgerton household. Thompson mentioned that a lot of their scenes together were filmed there, which made it even more special since it was the first time they really got to act together. "That was really special," he added. Jumped in, agreeing, "You were there a long time." Of course, while the spotlight is on Benedict and Sophie this time, the season will also give us a peek into how things are going with Colin Bridgerton and Penelope Featherington, who became a couple in Season 3. By the end of that season, they were not only married but also had a baby. Fans got an early glimpse at their life as a family of 3 thanks to some new promo images, and let's be honest, #Pollen fans are eating well. At the Screen Actors Guild Awards, Luke Newton, Colin, chatted with E! News about what fans can expect from Pollen's storyline in Season 4. He said, "You don't often see it on screen, just 2 people living happily ever after, and just that being what it is." Nicola Coughlan, Penelope, is just as excited. She told Swoon magazine, "She's now Penelope Bridgerton, and that's the name on the trailer when I go in. It's quite cute. She's very much in the family now. It's very, very sweet." So even though the main love story belongs to Benedict and Sophie this season, we're still getting more from our past favorites. And speaking of past favorites, last season also gave us a happy ending for Anthony and Kate, also known as Canthony. The couple started a family, and showrunner Jess Brownell confirmed that they'll be back in Season 4. Simone Ashley and Jonathan Bailey are both returning, and we'll probably get to see more of their baby Edmund. It looks like we're in for another dose of their marital bliss. We might not be seeing any more of Daphne, Phoebe Dynevor, or Simon, Regé-Jean Page, at least for now, but Season 4 won't be short on romance. Francesca Bridgerton, played by Hannah Dodd, and John Sterling, played by Victor Ali, are also getting their time in the spotlight. Fans of the books know that their love story takes a tragic turn, but showrunner Brownell seems to be giving us more time with the couple before heading into that heartbreaking chapter. And honestly, that's only going to make it more emotional later on, but bring it on, Shondaland. And of course, we can't talk about Bridgerton without mentioning Queen Charlotte. Thanks to the Regal spin-off Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story back in 2023, her character became even more beloved. One of the most touching parts of that series was her deep connection with Lady Agatha Danbury. Their sisterhood, despite not being related by blood, really resonated with fans. Season 4 is going to explore that dynamic even further. During Netflix's Season of Love virtual event, Brownell shared that this season will really focus on the bond between Lady Danbury and the Queen. "We learned so much about the origin of that friendship on the spin-off," she said, "so we really wanted to dig into that this season." We'll also see new dimensions to their relationship and how it impacts other characters, especially now that the Queen knows Penelope is Lady Whistledown. That revelation changed things, and her evolving relationship with both Lady Danbury and Penelope is going to be a big part of the story. In Queen Charlotte, viewers got to see how important Agatha was to the Queen in her early years. Charlotte leaned on her when things got tough, and Agatha always had her back. That bond continued into their later years, and with Agatha being one of the few people who could speak to Charlotte honestly and see her softer side. Their relationship is one of the emotional cornerstones of the show, so it's exciting to see it getting more attention in Bridgerton itself. Now, even though Bridgerton Season 3 tied up a bunch of storylines, it also closed the door on a potential Queen Charlotte Season 2, at least partly. One of the biggest threads left hanging in Queen Charlotte was the complicated connection between Agatha Danbury and Violet Bridgerton. It turns out that Agatha had a romance with Violet's father, Lord Ledger, and Violet found out. She discovered one of his paper crowns among Agatha's things, but chose not to confront her right away. That thread didn't really get resolved in Queen Charlotte, but Bridgerton Season 3 picked it back up and gave the characters some real closure. Violet eventually confessed her feelings for Agatha's brother Marcus and asked for Agatha's blessing. Agatha in turn acknowledged her past with Violet's father and told Violet she didn't need her permission because Agatha never got Violet's either. It was the first time they openly acknowledged their complicated history. Violet offered forgiveness in her own way, and Agatha showed her appreciation. It was a really touching moment that wrapped up their story in a satisfying way. But even though that chapter is closed, there's still one big reason why Queen Charlotte might deserve a second season: King George. Bridgerton only gives us brief glimpses of him, usually when he's struggling or not entirely present. So while Bridgerton Season 4 is shaping up to be full of love stories, callbacks, and fresh character growth, there's still a lot left on the table for the extended universe. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.